Hey everyone, hello, hello. We are just gonna take a minute and do some quick makeup. I need to put some makeup on before we have some special guests coming today. So before we get started, I'm going to try some of this sparkling cran raspberry lotion spray. I wanted something. This is really, I got this for Ellie and her school lunches to do something different other than just water, but not bad. Not bad. All right. So we're just going to do. I don't really even know how this is going to go. I told everybody that I was going to do a live while I was putting my makeup on, but everybody wants to be part of the show at my house here. So if it gets really obnoxious, I'm going to cut this off. Okay, so anyway, Deb Pascore is here, and we are just going to do some simple makeup. I'm not going to make it too complicated today because obviously I'm going to have to make this quick. But first I'm just going to start off with some must-do. I guess I should introduce myself. So Deb Pascore is here, and we're just going to really feature our concealer today, but we're going to keep the makeup light and simple and very natural looking. Don't really even know what kind of shadows or what colors I'm going to do yet, so we'll just kind of see what I feel like as we go. All right, first things first, we're going to start with our primer. This is our first base primer. It's very different than anything that I've ever used. Some of you may already use a spray primer, but I don't always use it. Sometimes I totally forget to put it on because I'm just still not used to using that kind of a primer. But so I spray it on, and usually, sometimes I'll let it dry before I do anything else, but you don't really have to. Sometimes I like to just mix my foundation in right away before it dries even. And really the first thing that we're going to start with after that is our concealer. I love our concealer. It is a professional concealer, like one that's been around for years and years and years. Again, that's another thing that's very unique and super cool with Limelight, is that, you know, they didn't have to come up with a special makeup line. They already had all of these vendors that they'd established relationships with for years and years through Alcone. And so their concealer is no exception to that rule. It is a wax-based concealer. It is waterproof. And I really would have just kind of stuck with like the basics, like a real light highlighting kind of concealer, until I learned a little bit more about some of the different colors that we have. And now sometimes I mix and match 3 different kinds of concealers. But in the month of September, my face was looking way ragged and tired, and I was like, okay, time to crack out concealer 3, which is almost kind of like a olivey green color kind of concealer. Can't really see it very well here with the lighting, but what it does is it really takes out the blue under your eyes, and you can't really see it with the light blasting on there, but you can really kind of see. I've always had darker circles, and especially this time of year when allergy season hits, it even gets more pronounced. My bags seem to be quite a bit better with using my Eye Aspire, and that's our eye serum, but this concealer, just since it's more yellowy and almost like has a slight green tint to it, just really takes out the blue and the black with the dark circles. And you can see that just right away, and just helps you with looking more awake and alive. Just like instantly you can see the difference, right? And so we've got about 6 different colors in the concealer. And then I'll just kind of spread that down. And so you can use it all of our different concealers in different sort of ways. So hopefully you can just see the difference there, how it's already lifted my eye and totally taken out really the appearance of my bags and the dark blue and black looking color with my dark circles. And then, so not always do I wear concealer. I mean, our foundation covers pretty good, and I was really kind of going without some concealer there for a while, but then I was like, oh dear, I'm looking tired. We got to do something. And so I cracked out the concealer again, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this now. I forgot because I hadn't been using it for a while. And that's just kind of what happens sometimes when you use makeup and then you forget about something that you loved and then you go back to it later. So that's our concealer. Our concealer, once again, is just really a remarkable product. It's probably really the best concealer I have ever used. So it's really thick, and just a tiny bit goes a long way, and so it lasts. So then the next thing I'm going to do is, I got kind of tired this last month and lazy, and didn't feel like using any of my brushes or whatever, so then I went back to applying my makeup with just my fingers. I'm just going to try and adjust that a little bit so the light's not so blasting. So again, just our foundation here, and I'm just going to scrape it out. This one's my own personal one, so I'm not using my testers, but so just a tiny little bit scraped on there. And then what I like to do is just warm it, because it is made of vegetable waxes, and so when you just take a minute to warm it, it just kind of starts gliding like butter, like it melts like butter. But there's so many different ways that you can use this. It's really multi-purpose, the foundation. So you can make it really sheer and natural looking, or you can really build it like wedding makeup. So, and again, the pigmentation is really high. The only one that kind of comes close to the pigmentation would probably be MAC. I don't know what Estee Lauder's is. It might be a little bit higher too, but anyway, when you have high color pigmentation, it just means that you can use less makeup, and the less makeup that you have to pound on there, then the more natural it's going to look. So we're just applying it with our fingers, and then I'm going over on top of the concealer to just kind of blend it as well. And the thing that I really love about the foundation is that it just really covers the redness in your skin. You can see when you cover up your lips there. And I didn't even have to use a lot. So it's like more color, less cake, right? And you're just not going to find a foundation like this over the counter. You're just not. It's very unique. So there it is. So foundation is done, okay? So then moving on here, I usually just go ahead and do a little bit of bronzer, and we're not going to go crazy with the makeup today, because I really just kind of wanted to feature with our concealers and what they do. But and I just kind of put that around here, just to kind of give your cheek some dimension, make it interesting. And the bronzer, again, has high pigmentation to it and wonderful blendability. And a lot of times at this point in time in doing my makeup, I will do our setting spray. I really like doing that. I usually try and do it before I put my bronzer on. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll just go ahead and set. This is our 10 Years Younger spray. And this sometimes I forget to do, but most of the time this is like a must. This is a must-have. And you don't have to have our Limelight products to use it. The manufacturer of this also makes some very well-known makeup brands. So it can be used with different types of brands. So it doesn't have to be just Limelight, you know. So if you want to try that, you can. And what I'm doing here is when I put that spray on, then I just like to go back in with my sponge and just dab. And sometimes I even just take this and do it right on my sponge, just spray a couple sprays. And then I go right under my eyes on my concealer here, and it really sets it, and it really, really helps preventing those that creasing that you can get when you wear concealer. So I'm loving that, and it really does help just kind of smooth out the foundation, because when you get to be my age, or even a little younger, you know, some people start seeing some changes in their 30s, but anything to kind of smooth out the face and the fine lines just helps you keep looking fresh and through the day. All right, and then after I do that, which is pretty dry, once I take that sponge, it really kind of helps it dry a little bit there. But I'm just taking some of our blush number 6, and I've featured this before. They call this Glowing, and it's really just a pretty, very finely milled shimmer for the cheeks. And a lot of times I'll just put that bronzer and this blush on, and then I'll go and be good. And I just like that it makes a real pretty glow without making myself look sparkly, you know. So I think that I still need some blush, so I'm going to put a little blush on, because I like my blush. So I'm going to do my blush. Okay, and then, so not to make it complicated, I don't do this all the time, but today I am going to do some setting powder, this is just a white setting powder, and you can put it on top of your makeup after you're finished with it. If you don't like that dewy look and you like something a little bit more matte, and then it also helps just setting the makeup. But I'm doing it on my lids just to kind of set that, because all I'm using today is my concealer for the primer, because I do really like how the concealer makes your color pop for your eyeshadow. So we're going to do that, and then I'm just going to take a fluffy brush, and we're probably just going to do a couple colors today for eyeshadow. Let's see, sparkle or matte, sparkle or matte. Sparkle or matte? I think we're just going to do my go-to, which is this Cream Boat right here. It's just a cream color, and I do like putting that all over my lid. Some people tap off the excess. I just didn't bother to do that because I just don't pay attention sometimes. But I like to put it all the way up to my brow because it's just a nice light color, and it'll just keep everything looking nice and bright and lifted. I need bright and lifted. Bright and lifted is good. Okay, and then once you have this as your base, we're not going to get real fancy with eyeshadow today. I'm just going to do something, I don't know if I feel like layering or not. Let's see. We'll just see how it goes. Oh, and then I just saw this cool trick to get your eyeshadow in the right place on your crease every time. If you just look down, you can totally see where your natural crease is. And then you're just going to set it in here. So this is just kind of a more transitional color. It's like the medium brown. Don't ask me what number it is. If you want to know what number it is, I'll have to look it up for you. I just can't remember. They're all on the bottom, but I'm not going to pop it out and show you right now. But, oh, fun things are coming for this season. I don't know if they'll be showing up sometime this month, exactly when, but I'll share them when they do show up. But we're getting shimmer shadows, about 6 different colors. Right now we have a lot of mattes. We have about 18 eyeshadow colors, and about 3 of them, maybe 4, are shimmers. And so we're just dying for shimmers, and they're gonna bring them to us. So we're so excited about that. Okay, so this, they call it a transition color, meaning, you know, when you see all those ladies with really cool eyeshadow that just looks like it blends so good, they're really good about putting this transition color down, and then they blend it really well. But I wear this color all the time. And then we're just going to do a little bit darker color on the outside here, and I'll blend it. But I don't feel like taking a lot of time with my eyeshadow, so we're just not going to. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to move that forward into the crease a little bit. This is kind of like my everyday look. And depending on what I feel like, how much blending happens is what happens. Depends on how much time I have in the morning. Depends on how much of a hurry I'm in. Okay. So, there's that, and that's really just pretty much the bulk of my face. But I am going to show you something else that I just got in recently. This is one of our smudge brush, our smudge liner brush. That's what it is. Don't ask me what number it is, but it looks like this. It's got a pointy tip on it. And what I love to do with this, and you can do this with any eyeshadow color, I love it. So I'll take our setting spray, give it a good little shake, and then we're going to spray the tip of this here. And then I'm going to dip it into just one of the shadows. I'll probably just do like not quite the darkest one. I have done that one before. But then you make a liner, and it goes on so good. And it's like perfect every time. And then when you spray it with the setting spray, it stays all day. Love this. One of my new faves. See how good and easy? I love this one. So a couple sprays, dip in your favorite color of eyeshadow to line with. And the other thing that's great about this is that you just don't have to worry about being perfect, because, you know, it's meant to look kind of smudgy. So this is one of my new favorites, for sure. Okay, so that's all we're going to do there. Take a drink. All right, and then we're ready for mascara. And one thing that I have to do with our mascara, I love our mascara. I love the way that it makes my lashes look. They just give you a really pretty lash. But I do use quite a few coats and it has fibers in it. And so what I have to do is to keep it moist and lasting, as I just put a couple of drops of some of my like Visine, or this is like my contact moisturizer there, and it helps just keeping it moist, you know, because the fibers do just, they do just tend to dry out. They just do. And I have learned that with this mascara, you just kind of have to apply it a little differently. Kind of shake it on the bottom lash there and lift up. But there's lots of things that I like about this mascara that keep me interested in purchasing it. So I always say you gotta try it at least once to see if it's gonna work for you or not. But I just like the way that they make my lashes look, because my lashes are pretty sparse these days. Getting older. See, isn't that nice and pretty with just one coat? But I did have to moisten it, so that's probably one downfall. The mascara is 20 bucks, and I've had this one for about a month. I probably had to start putting that liquid in it after about 2 to 3 weeks. Just so you know, I mean, because there's still mascara in here, but you do kind of have to doctor it a little bit. And some people might not be willing to do that, or wanting to do that, or care to do that, but I don't mind it. You know, because it's all about kind of the look that you want to get. Some kinds just make my eyes look too spiky, and then I kind of start looking overly done. You know, you might have like too much mascara on when that's all people look at is your lashes. So, okay, but it just nice and bright and fresh, right? Okay, so we might do just a tiny little bit more here, and then I usually go back through and just hit those tips. I won't bore you with my third coat because I get a little obsessive with my mascara. I do like my mascara. This is for sure, for real. And so I'm just being honest. Out of everything that I've tried with Limelight, I'm super, super happy with. I actually just kind of feel like I want to throw everything else that I have in my makeup bag away and just use up my Limelight, but I'm trying to be frugal and keep it, but and use what I can when I can. So, all right. But I would love to get together with you and let you try some of this. If you don't feel comfortable purchasing without trying it first, that's totally fine. We'll get together and we'll do a little one-on-one and try it out. It just feels so good on your skin. And just the more and the longer that I'm with Limelight, the more I just really love it. It's like everything that I wanted with the other companies that I was with. It was like, oh yeah, that's great, but, oh, that's awesome, but, no, this is like, everything is just too good to be true. Okay, so I'm going to share one of our lip glosses. I'm kind of just feeling melancholy right now, so I'm not going to do anything bright and crazy. But this is Peace. Oh, I love this one. We have one that's very similar to it. It's called Wish, and it's more like a pinky tone, but this is more like a neutral, peachy kind of color. And I love, love, love it. It's my absolute favorite. And these, oh my gosh, for the next coming months, we're going to have some cute little duos that you can get, like a little mini gloss and a little mini enduring lip color together as a set. They're going to be so fun for gift giving. But yeah, I love that. Okay, so simple makeup, easy to do. This makeup looks good on everyone. You can YouTube Limelight by Alcone and you will see awesome looks for days. I absolutely am loving it. Please feel free to message me if you want to know more about Limelight by Alcone, if you want to know more about, or if you just want to schedule a little one-on-one, we'll do that, okay? So absolutely, you will not be disappointed in anything that you try. So give me a buzz. I hope you're having an awesome Sunday. And with that, be good to yourself, be good to others, and have an amazing rest of your day. All right. See you later. Bye.